Today on Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast, we are podcasting from Pythian Castle in Springfield, Missouri. Welcome to another edition of Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast. I'm John, Bobby, Tyler, Dustin, Melissa, Chris, the entire crew from Midwest Ghost Hunters here today as we are podcasting from Pythian Castle in Springfield.
We've heard a few things here today already happening inside the castle. I don't know if people get tired of hearing us say that, but it doesn't make it any less true. We still, Dustin's heard some things today. I wasn't really paying any attention, but we may have some things pop up along the way as we go. We've kind of just started doing the podcast now without any idea of what the hell we're going to talk about before we get started, and then we just kind of, whatever direction we go in, we kind of run with it. And we've not found that direction today yet. So we don't know what we're talking about.
It's like that's the best intro ever.
Well, I was just looking through I was trying to look through some of these older investigations we did to see if there's anything, and there's a lot of substantial stuff, and I wouldn't know. This numbering system's got to go. This numbering system has got to freaking go because it's so stupid, and I'm the one who did it.
If you ever want to visit our website, it's mwghosthunters.com.
Yeah, and as far as directing you to a particular case, I can't because I've got this stupid numbering system happening. It made sense at one time, but now I look at these numbers, I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? I don't even know what these numbers mean. They're not dates, but they had a meaning, and it had to do with our old website platform that we used before. It helped me back then, but now it means absolutely nothing. So I'm just I'm blind. When I'm looking for a particular case, I just literally have to click through, each one until I find it. There's hamstring right there. I just accidentally clicked on the hamstring.
That's so gross.
Hamstring?
You know the
so
hamstring.
Gross.
Oh, it's that one me and Tyler did by ourselves.
Yeah, it's just me and you there.
The sevens.
With all the sevens.
I've heard so much about that.
And she decided she wanted a piece of ham.
Was I sick?
You and John were both sick. Yeah, you and John were both sick. I think I don't even remember.
It was like the only time we've ever done an investigation that I could remember that somebody got sick day of, and not just one of us, but two of us got sick.
Yeah. So we went ahead and did it, and I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it for sure, because we've talked about it before, because I think a lot of it was that pareidolia. But we did catch some EVPs there, and I was just looking at the pictures here, these, the handprints that were on the walls and ceilings, and I don't know, but we called it hamstring because she decided she wanted some ham, as you do, and she went to the
daily,
and she went to the fridge and got a piece of ham and took the skin off of the the ring around the ham and laid it on the counter again, as you do, and then when she came back later. Because, later in the day, you always revisit the food that you've left on the counter.
Especially if it's ham.
Yes. And later in the day, she went back and saw that ham string, I don't know what else to call it, skin? The ham
It's all bad. Just
I like hamstring.
I mean, a hamstring's a muscle.
It had taken the shape, presumably by a paranormal entity, of a 7.
So now we're not just talking about a string of ham.
I gotta be honest with you guys. If I was there, there's no way I make it through that without cracking up. It's ham.
It was rough.
Well, Tyler was taking video of me reacting to her, and I didn't know it.
Excellent. I've never seen that video.
Yeah, you have.
I
put the Seinfeld theme over it.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, because I looked at Tyler at one point like, what the hell is happening?
Was this the house? Was this the house that? I don't know. I don't think it was, but the house that you guys did in Bolivar that I caught.
Are you talking about the house we're talking about now?
Yes.
No, this was here in Springfield.
This was a long time ago too.
One of my favorite pieces of audio is the burn, and then we later found out that it was the burn in hell.
Yeah, and that's not what we caught at hamstring. We did catch EVPs, and if I could find that, I would bring it up, and I can look here as we go. I know which one you're talking about, the one up in Bolivar. But we did catch 2 legitimate EVPs while we were at that house. Anyway, the singing, contrary to what what she was talking about the main reason she brought us there was because of the sevens appearing everywhere, and we couldn't see any of them.
That's not true. You saw one.
That's not true. We saw 0.
No, you saw one. You saw 7. Didn't it? Didn't you see the hamstring, or that was just a story?
No,
She told?
that was a story she told.
No, we didn't even see the
Thought
hamster.
you walked in and saw it. Saw it on the counter there.
No,
and then
that
she
was
pointed it out.
And then there was something about a tortilla.
Yeah. There was a 7 on the tortilla.
There was she broke the dry part off a tortilla. Or this was just absurd to even be talking about this on this podcast. But anyway.
This is the kind of things we deal with.
I mean, it's been worse, and
It's been much worse than that.
I mean, we've had rancid macaroni. We've had human feces.
Yeah, we've talked about all that.
Dude, remember the Boonies house?
Which one was that?
The one that was way out there.
Like
That was
the
the
one
David Attenborough nature versus nature.
Yeah, we've talked about that one recently.
Yeah, recently, a couple weeks ago.
That was probably the worst.
Yeah, I agree. That and I'm still looking for that, John. Has it gotten worse
With the
than
basement that was full of
I remember
sewage?
that, but is that the same house with the mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say
That's
no.
the
The
same
mouse one was worse.
Yeah, that's the same
With
one.
the dead mouse sewn to the carpet?
I'm so glad I came into this group after.
Well, now we've had a little
those
better
places.
now.
It was entertaining in its own way.
Don't feel bad. There'll be more.
No,
Oh, there will be more.
if I'll just turn around and walk. I'll be the one patrolling the outside of the house to make sure it's safe.
I mean, we've had a few, run-ins with some oddities, but nothing like that we used to, because back then we would just take anything that came down the pike.
Our vetting process has evolved.
Our vetting process has evolved, and we get more requests now to we're able to be more selective.
Yeah.
And do the ones that we think are actually going to yield something
Yeah.
positive or paranormal.
Yeah, that's nice because back in the day we would just take whatever was thrown our way. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Yeah. And you had to. Oh, wait, here's Bolivar right here. I don't know, John, if this is the right one. It'll have nope, that's a different one. That's a different one. I forgot about that one, though.
I mean, honestly,
Keep hearing dings. Is that your watch?
is it?
I don't know. Keep hearing something
No,
go ding.
I've got nothing here. My phone's on silent too, so my watch is on silent.
Mine's occupied.
Not me. Are you hearing stuff, John? Or are you just staring at me?
No, I'm hearing something. I'm
It
hearing.
sounds like notifications on a cell phone.
No,
That's
that's
what I
not
was
what I'm
looking for.
hearing. It's something else, and I can't. I
Is
can't.
it like an echoey thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been hearing.
Yeah,
That's what I heard
yeah,
earlier.
and I was trying to figure out what that was. It was just like a distant echo, is what I was hearing.
And here's the video, John, that
there.
we were talking. Did you hear something?
Yeah.
just then?
It might be dogs. I can't. We're gonna have to
I
like.
think they're outside.
She put them outside.
Well then,
I heard the ding again.
Yeah,
What is that?
but see,
I don't hear anything.
taking my headset off.
I haven't heard anything, but I haven't been listening either. I've been trying to find something on this.
there it was again.
Yeah.
What are you guys hearing?
I don't hear anything.
Take your headset off.
But-
Oh, it's out in the open?
I'm borderline deaf.
yeah,
so
I was gonna say you're.
I think it's like demon bells.
No, I think
I
what
was thinking.
Demon bells. Good grief.
what I think it is like maybe some sort of a reverb we're
I
hearing.
was gonna say reverb.
Because-
Maybe even from us.
Well, right, because you don't hear it.
It was
After
right there.
John
Right.
is done talking.
Right. I wonder if it's from me.
It's from
Is something hot? Are the mics real hot?
Well, that wouldn't cause that.
But I feel like it.
Like a mic headset combo causing reverb?
I don't know. That's weird.
I mean,
All right,
it's,
that's fine. Let's move on. What did you
I don't
find it,
know
Chris?
how that would work.
Yeah, I found the full, because back then we loaded the full video.
Yeah, that's it right there.
So I would have to find, let's see, is that you, John, right there? Let me see what you wrote. Nothing. Oh, you're the one. Okay. Yeah, I found the full video, but I would have to find exactly where, that piece of audio was. And as we go here, I bet I could. If I were to read through, because the main reason we posted the video was because that was when the flashlight got slid from off to on. Whenever we'd rigged it to where you just have to tap it where it would come on, and it didn't get tapped; it got turned back on.
This was actually my very first paranormal find.
This was the first thing you ever reviewed.
Yeah, and I had reviewed other stuff, and I remember thinking, well, I'm not going to find anything on here because it's just you guys at this house. How am I going to find something? And then I found this, and it was like 1:00 in the morning when I
was
found
this.
this.
Your moment?
This was my moment. This video was my moment, and it was a burn, and then all I heard was the burn.
Yeah, we found the rest
And
of
then
it later.
Tyler, we're in the studio at the radio station. He says, "Hey, that says burn in hell," And I'm like, you know what? I really liked mine better. You know, I do. If we could have not found that, that would have been more awesome.
We were at the radio station and we had the big speakers up on the wall and we played it, and we didn't
Can
realize.
Can we play it? Are you trying to find it? Is that what
I found it. I found the video. I mean, we would have to pause for a minute and me to find that specific spot on the video. It's not that long.
I'm on John's side
I
now,
thought
guys. The less editing, the better.
I thought we
I'm not gonna play a 9-minute video.
I thought we already played a clip.
I did the same thing that day as I went through and I found it.
Oh,
Right.
So we don't actually have that
Isolated?
Yes.
No.
Wow. That's
And I didn't even put in the description here of where to find it.
Well, and had I known he was going to do this, I could have gotten that in advance for us, but I didn't know he was going
I didn't know I was going to either.
Well, as we said, we're kind of flying by the seat of our
to do
pants.
this here.
Yeah. And it's really not that hard to find. I mean, I could find it, but it's somewhere right in here where this flashlight comes back on.
We did play it once, though.
Yes, we played it at the radio station on the old podcast.
Okay. All right, that's right.
But we did the same thing that day. I went through and I just listened until I found it.
But a lot of the people that listen now probably missed that.
Oh yeah, they haven't ever heard it unless.
What we should do is, what we should do is after this podcast is done today, I need to take that entire video and put that on because there's no telling what else is in that video that we've missed.
Oh, I know. I've thought about that before. Is we should look through this really, a little. I mean, a lot of it is dark until the light comes on.
In fact, what I would do is take that entire video link and send that to Ty and have him go through and process that, find the exact moments that are in there and have him go ahead and boost them and then cut them up and send it to us. I think that's a good idea.
Well, I'll send everybody a link to the video and they can do with it what they want.
Especially Ty.
I know he doesn't have any video editing software yet.
Well, he won't have to because you can rip the audio is all he'd do.
You're the audio guy.
Well, we can rip the audio off the video.
Yeah, do it, audio guy.
And then send
Actually,
it to Ty.
I can do that on my phone.
Yeah.
I can pull audio off a video on my phone. It's just something I need to do because there's a lot of these like this on our website where we've got back before we had any technical capabilities whatsoever. We would just throw the whole damn thing up there and say, fast forward to 13 minutes.
Well, that's because we thought it was more credible to have the whole
and
thing.
it is. It really is. But I mean, I still think there's something to be said for pulling those pieces out and making them available because I'm not going to sit and watch anybody's freaking 13-minute video.
It's for ease of access so people can just click it and listen.
Yeah. I mean, we can make the full video available if anybody needs to corroborate the authenticity of it.
If you're coming in not wanting to believe it, you're not going to believe it anyway.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
What is that?
What?
I don't know.
I heard that. That I heard.
I didn't hear anything. What was it? Oh, I don't know why I'm asking you. Sorry.
I heard something.
So now that we have that camera rolling too, there's a possibility that audio pieces will jump onto that we're not catching here or anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
There is
another recorder there.
There's a strong, especially with it being in that spot.
There is the possibility of that, but the problem is that the audio quality of that is going to be very, very poor.
Yeah, but that's...
I've never noticed my video camera's audio being bad.
Well, it won't be as good as like this, obviously.
Yeah,
Nowhere near it.
If you were to put this next to the audio quality of your phone, you're going to notice that it's very bad.
But we use our phones for recorders.
And you
on
don't
every
have to have crystal
investigation.
clear audio, to capture. I mean,
Sometimes, it doesn't follow the rules, right? You can have two microphones right next to each other, and one will catch something.
That's true. I mean, that's true.
I'm just saying there could be stuff.
It's not going to matter.
What does that mean?
Like the quality of the microphone, really.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, for somebody listening,
He's getting really
I
depressed.
thought he was giving up.
None of this matters. My life doesn't matter.
Time to go
That's what I
home.
was thinking.
No, but obviously it'll.
We're gonna have to stop and pass the talk pillow around.
The conch shell.
Obviously, the higher quality of the microphone, the easier it's going to be to listen to. It won't sound like nails on a chalkboard, but we've caught things with recorders from 1997, so
Yeah.
it's not going to matter.
Yeah. I was just scrolling through this video, trying to find the point where the flashlight comes on. Look how, it's a long, it's still loading. But you got to, I mean, that's a good idea is to look back through this and to see what we can see in it.
Yeah, you could
I
actually
was gonna say, why can't I
rip
hear
that whole thing.
myself? I took my, hang on a second. Okay. I was afraid my mic quit working, but turns out I took my headphones off. But the video that we're huh?
I was going to say, it's why we have the camera now, so we can catch moments of...
I'm hoping something touches him again so we can,
That would be
we
awesome.
can witness that.
That would be awesome.
Or
John, you'll
anybody.
get run over.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might want to move.
Oh, if something touches him, you want to tell me. to move.
Yeah, you'll be gone.
If you've got to throw your headphones, go any direction but that one because I don't have insurance. So
That's only happened that one time.
Go
I've never,
that way.
Never had that happen before in here or anywhere. I've never had that at all. That was the first time ever, so I didn't
that freaked you
particularly
out.
like that. Yeah, I didn't care.
well,
for
it
that.
would.
Yeah, that's
Feeling cold phalanges on
That's
your
what we
neck.
could talk about.
It felt like the first through third digits.
we could.
First through third, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but they were cold. I know that much for sure.
It's because Palpatine's missing 2 fingers.
Oh, true. So it was a first through third.
What, like from the lightning?
Yeah, it burns his fingers. Yeah.
I still want to hear that TIE fighter.
Oh, it's perfect.
How's he do it?
With his mouth.
Well, I want
He
to hear it.
used to do it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard him do it.
Yeah. Oh, you have. You have. You just probably didn't take nothing out of it.
You do Chewbacca? Mm-hmm. You do?
Nah, the TIE Fighter's better. It's like spot on.
I can do Chewbacca, though, to answer your question. Yeah. It's not as good as the TIE Fighter, though.
Man, he's like Michael Winslow.
If they ever, lose, if LucasArts ever loses their, database of
They're just going to
noises,
pull you in.
they could just hire me and I could do them.
You know you're going to have to do that at
You
some
do a
point for us,
tauntaun
right?
too, don't you?
That would be a harder
good
one to
tauntaun.
do.
Now, the taunt, is that the throaty...
This is the thing that Han Solo cuts open.
I know what a tauntaun is. But I'm talking about the sound. I can't think of the sound they make.
I'm not. You're going to have to Google that.
You're just not going to do it.
John, next time we do this, get some liquor or something and put it in his coffee so then it'll get him loosey-goosey and then maybe he'll...
We might get to hear it
He'll
at
do
the
it.
end. It definitely
Yeah.
won't be on camera, though.
Dang it.
No, you're not. Camera, no camera.
All right. So I'm getting nowhere on this video.
Okay, that's fine. I was going to say we could talk about, because last year, good Lord, last time we did our favorite moment at Pythian Castle. We could do the moment that scared us the most.
Okay.
Here or anywhere?
Anywhere.
What's yours?
Well, that's the thing. It's all going to, for us, it's going to probably be the same one, I imagine.
Probably.
Well, us three weren't there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. For us three.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think there's any way that you can ever, for the three of us,
And
have
you
a,
know what
have
I'm
a
going to
time.
say. And it's like that whole thing.
Yeah,
The closet closing,
yeah,
the
the
noises
Willard-
being banging, the
we-
pterodactyl.
We beat that to death for
Yeah, I know,
us,
and
for the
we're-
three of
we're-
us. But I would be curious to see for Bobby, for Ty, and for Melissa what their scariest moment was.
Because what really freaked one person out might not be the same for because if you were closer
Right.
to it or something.
Yeah.
Or,
And let's start with Bobby so nobody can take
Chris
hers.
might be the
No,
phalanges.
I've never had a scary moment. I've
You
just
haven't.
felt.
You have never had a scary
No, I've
moment?
just felt creeped
No.
out
Really?
before. Nothing
believe
scary.
You haven't?
No.
Not even.
Ty, how about you?
Not like any of the EVPs we caught. None of them.
Not when you heard the growling at the house.
At
That one house that
Ashley's
we did?
house?
I almost said Melissa's
When
house.
we heard the...
Okay,
it
so
didn't scare me. It creeped me out, and the basement down here creeps me out.
okay, well, let's rephrase it for you. What do you think your creepiest moment was? Since you weren't really scared, but you were creeped out.
The tunnel.
Here?
Yeah,
tunnel
I felt
here.
I couldn't breathe down there. I had to switch partners.
Okay.
That's when I went down.
Yeah.
Ty,
I
how
started
about...
5 minutes, maybe. I could not handle it anymore.
Ty, what would yours be?
the scariest moment for me, I had it and I lost it.
I thought it was pretty, and you can think about it while I say this, but I didn't think it was necessarily, like you said, scary, but it was creepy in the bridal shop basement up in Buffalo.
That one
That
was
was weird.
pretty
There's a
creepy.
lot of light play down there.
Because there's
That
only
was
one way out of
bad,
there. And at one point, me and you, there were like 4 of us down there, and I was thinking the whole time, which one of us is going to get up those stairs first if we have to?
I got it. So the scariest moment for me was not paranormal at all. It was when we had a interloper in our EVP session at Ashley's house.
Yes.
That scared the absolute shit out of me. The creepiest one that we couldn't explain was, and I don't remember which house this was, but I was in an attic, of course, and was growled at. You remember that?
I remember
that was
Nixa.
Nixa? Mm-hmm. That was weird.
Yeah,
I heard it with your ears.
I heard it, yeah.
and that was one of the they
sounded like
felt
a
like
lion.
they felt like at that house all the activity started in the garage, which you never hear. But they felt like whatever was in the garage would retreat to the attic.
And you
So-
talk about one way out,
Yeah, there's one way out, and it's straight down.
straight down. That's an ankle snapping drop there.
Yeah, and then there was another place that you did an attic and took some pictures. Remember, there were flowers,
Rose
sprinkles
petals.
all
Rose
over.
petals, yeah.
And we asked them about that, and they're like, I don't know.
They said we've never been up there. We don't know. Have any
That's
idea
right,
what's
yeah.
up there.
There was nothing up there but rose petals.
And then there was flowers. And I can't remember. There was a picture on the website. I can't remember if they must have been artificial because they were still
colorful.
Remember they were colorful. Remember they were like tacked up to the end, all the way at the end
on the
wall.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And then there were like petals sprinkled around
On the
in the
floor.
insulation. So that was
weird.
odd.
It's very strange.
Not necessarily
talked about-
paranormal,
We were
but
just talking about that.
Now, Melissa has been to like Waverly Hills and Indiana State Sanatorium. Obviously, you were in the shirt.
She's been to St. Louis.
Limp, is that where you went? Okay.
what's
So
limp?
Limp Mansion in St. Louis. It's kind of like Pythian is here. They have Limp Mansion in St. Louis.
They started brewing beer before
Yeah.
the Bush family did. Limp Brewery, Limp Beer, and their mansion's still there. But like 4 family members committed suicide in the mansion.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
pretty
remember
it's
you
pretty
saying
crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, and I actually know someone who is a therapist who is in a band, and they practice at a building on the property of Limp Mansion. And he's like, "Yeah, I know the guy. Do you guys want to come up here sometime?"
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Yes.
absolutely.
There's Nick.
Arshandu?
Yes.
Ah, cool.
Yes. We should all take a, what do they call those things? Where like the group.
Road trip.
No, we're like you take your company to go and you have like.
Oh, like a retreat.
Yeah, we should all go do like a retreat.
It's
with
weird
one
that
another.
that you said a therapist in a band, and my mind didn't immediately go to Nick. I
That's
don't know
what it
why.
was.
Yeah,
Nick's the one I was talking to, and he was talking about, like ghost stuff. There's a place up here. My band practices in. It's Limp Mansion. I was like, are you kidding?
that's cool.
So
I didn't know that.
What would be yours, Melissa? What would be your creepiest or scariest moment?
Did it come from Waverly? Because Waverly's nuts.
Okay, that's Tamer outside.
Yeah.
I was like, just heard a voice. Well, one of them was here in the tunnel. I was down. I mentioned it on the podcast before, but when the 5 shadows came down to the tunnel, that was one that scared the shit out of me. So when you're at the end of the tunnel, you can't really get out. The other one, there's a couple at Waverly. One is down in the body chute, which is like the tunnel, only 10 times worse.
Body shoot.
The body chute.
That sounds terrifying.
Well, they had so many. It leads down to the train tracks that used to run behind Waverly, and it was a way that they could get their supplies. But during their really busy years, I guess you could say, so many people were dying, they didn't want the residents to see all the bodies leaving.
Oh, okay.
So they would take them down the body chute to the trains to get them off the property.
That was probably the most crazy audio I've ever heard caught on Ghost Hunters, the show, TV show. Taps was in that same spot.
The body chute is tough because there's steps, but the way the steps are like angled, it's a bitch coming back out. But anyway, we were down at the bottom of the body chute and we were getting ready to go back up, and it was just like there was a blue light just kind of dancing in the middle.
Ooh.
And there's no electricity down in there. So we were kind of like, well, shit, we got to go back up that way to get out. So that was a little nerve-wracking. And then there's, I can't remember what floor it is. 3rd floor is where the operating room is, and they still have the big lights. They still have the autoclave. They have a lot of stuff is still in there. We were in there, and it sounded like things were being like drug across the floor. It was a very uneasy feeling, so we left.
Now, you want to talk about a big place. That place is
Waverly
huge.
is massive.
It's gigantic. Were you on a group tour, not like a paranormal group, but like a group of
It was my
public group?
Yeah, it was a public overnight investigation.
Yeah.
It was just my best friend and I that went.
It's just you two?
Yep.
I don't think I could do that.
And they
I just rolling that around. Like, who
They don't,
would I go with on an overnight? Just two. None of it.
they don't really want you to use flashlights, so you basically just kind of stumble around the dark.
Why don't they want you to use flashlights?
They claim that your eyes will eventually adjust to the dark, which to me is a load of bull.
Partially
That's true to an extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I walked into so many doors that I couldn't see. I was just running. Oh shit, there's a door.
I mean, that's partially true. Your eyes will adjust, but if you'll recall the last investigation we did, I nearly broke my leg on the.
You shin shot.
And that
Shattered
wasn't that
your shin.
dark.
On
That,
a-
that
wasn't
wasn't
that
that dark.
No, that wasn't that dark.
A child's picnic table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
But they also have.
and that left a bruise, a huge bruise.
I thought Chris was dying
was a
whenever that
perfect shin
happened.
shot.
Like you looked like a.
Remember on Family Guy when Peter hits his shin on the trailer hitch? That was it right there.
The other fun thing about Waverly Hills is there's bats. So you'll be walking around. And it's like
Inside?
somebody- yeah. There's only windows on the first floor. So the whole top part,
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
a-
windows.
That's
Yeah,
not a
it's open.
ghost. That's Dracula.
Yeah. But you'll just be walking along and something
Did
like
there
swoops
used to
down.
be windows on it?
Well,
Yeah.
It's all busted out.
yeah.
Yeah. And the part, it's interesting not to go. I didn't know this till the last time. So when you look at Waverly, they always show pictures of the big atriums where they used to wheel the people out. That was the good side you wanted to be on. The other side were the private rooms with the windows. Those were called, that's where the people were getting ready to die.
I was going to say,
Those
isn't
were
that
like
where
the
the
death
people with
rooms.
the tuberculosis, they tried to give them vitamin D by putting them close to the windows?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they thought there was something with vitamin D that might help. They had no idea.
And then they
what
would
to do with
also do
tuberculosis.
some kind of operation where they would like take out part of your lung, like they would remove the ribs so your lungs could open up more. That was like a last ditch effort.
What
It's
year
a-
was this? They were doing all this. Like 30s?
30s, 40s?
Yeah, it was, about then. I can't remember the exact, that's about right.
That place, if anybody's into paranormal stuff, go to Waverly. It's just the history and everything about it it's amazing.
Some of the best paranormal shows I've seen, their best stuff has come out of Waverly in Kentucky. It's really cool. What were you going to say?
I don't know if we've talked about this before yet, but what was your favorite moment where you debunked something? Where there was
That's funny
something that
that
we
you mentioned that.
couldn't
We've talked
figure
about
it
it
out and
before.
then did.
Oh, something we couldn't then did. Because I was thinking of the house that we went to, where the whole reason we went there was because it was a mom and dad and a little kid. who lived
Cross.
there.
The cross
The
flipping,
cross
and then I
on the
just
wall.
closed the door.
Yeah.
And
And the cross flipped around. It's like, well, let's go.
Yep.
We're done.
Did it seriously happen?
Yeah.
I've got the video right. I just passed by it just a second ago. And the only reason I put the video up was to show that within 10 minutes of being there that we had.
I mean, I just shut the door.
You shut the door once and it didn't
that
do
was-
anything. And
no,
I
you
remember,
didn't. That
I
was-
remember
that was
one of us said, "Shut the door like a 6-year-old," and you slammed it, and the cross went boop, and just
Yep.
flipped right around.
Ty, what would be yours?
That was it.
Yeah.
That's also
Was that
was
the
my
one you were
favorite
talking
one.
about?
Yeah.
That's also mine. So
We've debunked.
I'm going to put that down, but I'm also going to put down the bridal place in Bolivar. I'm going to have to put that one down as well because I don't know that we fully ever were able to completely debunk all of the lights. But whenever Ty and I were down there initially and we saw those lights down there, I remember thinking there's no way that a flashlight could cause this. There's no way. And then somebody, on the upstairs starts waving the flashlight around and we see the same thing again. So
Yeah.
I would
There
put
was
that
a
in
lot
there
of
too.
weird light play down there.
Yeah, and that's one thing we didn't. I mean, that's one thing. No matter how long you've been doing this, you don't look for is to look for drill holes in the floor. That
yeah,
would
it's all
tiny
buildings,
ones.
so.
yeah,
And then what would happen is it'd shine down and then reflect off of something down there.
and bounce up to the
around.
ceiling, yeah, or wherever.
Well, because when you're down there in the pitch black, you got to paint a picture of the basement. It was pretty big.
And it was creepy.
Lots of obstacles, and by obstacles I mean like support beams
support
and poles and
Something to run like forehead first into.
Right.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the light it would shine through the floorboards and then be reflected off the whatever it hit on the floor onto the walls. But when it's pitch black down there, it looked like the light was just in the air,
Yeah,
not on a surface, but it looked like something was self-illuminating in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it
that's
did.
creepy at
And
first.
I'm still
never
not
seen anything
entirely
like that.
convinced about all that. Because
Well-
I saw that one time.
And I'm not necessarily. I think it debunked part of it, but I'm still not 100% sure that was all of it.
Well,
There
look.
was what was blocking the red light?
That's what I was going to say. Is you can have all the holes in the floor you want, and it's not going to cause. It's not going to cause that red light that was over in the corner to get blocked.
Yeah,
Like
and
someone
I
walked
seen
in
It
that.
front of
also
it.
will not cause the shadow figure that your
on the
son
picture,
got
yes.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, all the holes in the floor.
I forgot that we saw or you guys saw the red light be obstructed by something.
Yep.
Because that can't be.
Because
really
that
explained.
happened. But that happened.
Whoa.
Tyler and I were by her.
What happened?
Something just said something.
Yeah, there was a.
Here. I'm not kidding you.
We'll have to
I just
mark-
heard like a man talking right here.
I
Mark
thought you
the
got
time.
touched or something because you kind of.
Well, it freaked me out.
No, if he got touched or something, you and I would no longer be sitting in chairs.
I would hope he would go for the door,
I'd go for that.
not the
door.
corner.
Or that window. There was a voice like right here.
We'll have to pay attention to that and see.
I can't believe nobody else heard that.
I didn't hear it. I did not hear it. You hear it with your ears or in here?
I don't.
Well, he didn't have it on.
Oh, he didn't have them on. We'll have to listen through
You've
there.
been
Is
hearing
there,
a lot of
is there
stuff
a man
today.
here
I don't think so.
other than
Like standing right there next to you?
no anywhere in the sky?
Definitely not. I mean, I can tell you that.
I'm looking right there, and there is no human being.
That has been debunked. That's not my favorite.
That's
Wait.
your favorite?
Wait, you don't see that guy? No, but there's not another guy like in the castle somewhere.
I don't think
It's
so.
just
I think
Tamara.
it's just Tamara.
Dustin, what would be your favorite debunk?
I mean, I already said it. It was the cross one.
So that's yours too.
Because Tyler said he's the one that found it, and I'm
I
the
did
one that
find
found
it. No.
Melissa, how about
We
yours?
can watch the video and see who it is.
Yeah.
Watch
Go-
that
do
video.
it.
What would be your favorite debunking?
I mean,
go.
I'm like
I
100%
like
certain.
I like picking apart the photos that people send in online that say there's a ghost, and it is just so blatantly obvious that
yeah.
some. And
Right.
that's not really debunking. That's just common
No, it
sense.
is.
But
You're debunking
you know,
stuff there,
The
like-
place down in Arkansas, I'm just like,
Oh man, that was ridiculous.
so
That was like
obvious.
I was on a mission to prove that one
and
was
so
fake.
many people. Oh, look there! I'm like, dude, it's totally added in. It's not. Those are my favorite things. But that's
Yeah.
why I like sending you guys pictures of stuff that's questionable, because I know you guys can pick it apart and tell me.
Now, I
if
don't
it's-
know. This isn't like the video where we videoed it after the fact to show it.
We videoed what?
The closing the door thing.
Oh yeah.
I've got the video.
I remember. I
So
either
was it just hanging on a screen?
Yeah, no, it was like it was just a paper cross.
I either closed the
was
door
paper, like
or
a
I'm the
school
one
project.
who suggested closing it like a small child would.
Right.
I don't remember.
I can play the audio of the video.
And that's going to be really, really exciting for our
You
listeners.
need to
I know, but we've got to. I don't know which one of you guys to give credit.
Well, me. Let's move on.
Let's see. Okay,
You
hang
need
on.
to clean your computer screen.
Yeah, from your angle, I know.
No. They thought that was
my headphones.
paranormal.
That was it.
Those
They
are
thought
pretty
that was
loud.
paranormal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about a cross like
That's
hanging
really-
here and like did one of those.
No, it's a paper. And here, look
Good
again.
grief.
Whose shadow is that right there? Who was that? Did you see? it?
That's all it
It's
is.
one of
It's
them.
just door, literally
It's one of
just the
those
door
guys.
closing.
Yeah. It's one of those guys, and I can't tell.
It's just a video of a door closing. That's it. It's like 2 seconds long.
That's so. I don't even know. I don't even know if I would even consider that debunking it, because I mean they should see that. I mean that's.
I asked them before. I was like, when you walk by or when you close a door or open a window, does it turn over? Oh. Wait,
Dang it.
fucking SoundCloud.
You know what? It might have been the man's voice. I was probably hearing stuff through Tyler's headset because he is like hard of hearing sometimes.
I
putting
wasn't
it
playing
mildly.
anything.
You wasn't?
You mean a minute ago when you said you heard
No,
something?
Chris wasn't
I had
playing
nothing
anything.
pulled up.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've debunked a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like the DVD player thing. Where was that? Help me.
Um,
Machine noises were happening, and we was like, well, there's a DVD player up there. And like, it would reset. We got it to do it. Something happened there.
I think it was the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were hearing DVD sounds and there was no DVD player?
Oh, maybe
You're talking about Ashley's place.
Yeah.
And there was no.
Oh, okay. That's right.
there was no DVD player.
I'm thinking of a different place though, where this happened a long time ago.
And we've debunked, I mean, an awful lot of crap along the way. I can't specifically remember.
There's got to be a better example than the cross, and I can't think of one. I know there are because we've
Well,
done
a
it
lot of
but-
them have been debunked. Audio pieces, you know, and it's not super sexy stuff, but it's like, well, this could be this. This could have been a mouthpiece.
That's true. That's true. I remember like a noise outside, a car drove by. Or
Right. You know, we were at Ashley's, and I played this audio back because you hear Ty and Bobby leave the room, and I'm like, listen to these footsteps. I knew it wasn't me. Chris is like, I'm positive I didn't go back in there. Well, it was Chris.
We heard footsteps on the stairs and stuff.
Yes.
Can you repeat that?
No.
Well, and the case you're talking about, it turns out I did go back downstairs, right?
Yes, and it was Chris.
Yeah.
It ended up being Chris, and so that would be a debunk.
What about the house we were at where something flew off the vanity and Chris was sitting in there on the bed? Was that Ashley's house too?
No, that was Republic. That was in
Oh,
Republic.
I remember.
Yeah.
That's the one
That's the one.
that Ty was talking to me about the other day.
It
Yeah.
threw that girl's makeup stuff at
the
Chris.
makeup carousel. Well, it didn't throw it at me. It threw me and you were standing together.
Yeah, I tossed it on the floor.
Why is it that you two are always together when there's female ghost situations?
Well, I don't know that it was a female
Yeah,
ghost.
we don't know that.
Makeup.
Yeah, but it could have been a dude that didn't like makeup.
And
But you guys,
I mean,
you guys were together with a sex ghost.
But this every EVP we caught at that house was a male. I think I don't remember catching anything that wasn't. But isn't that the one you were talking about that they were wanting some? It has some more stuff happening there.
Yep.
The big deal about it, not the big deal, but the deal with it is we investigated it, and then we investigated again 10 years later. There was a 10-year spread between the two.
Oh, that's right. I remember that being like really big for us at the time.
Yeah.
Really.
So now they've talked to Tyler about more stuff happening there.
Dr. Tyler?
Yeah.
What? The Republic House?
Yeah. Yeah, the house in Republic.
I'm important, guys.
The same one that we all went to?
Yeah.
You went there 10 years before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had been there before.
Dang.
Been doing this a while.
That's like
I
a
know,
big.
but I didn't realize you had already been there.
Yeah, we had been there before. We'd been there 10 years earlier, and then we were there, whenever this was.
That family are friends with somebody I work with, and they told him to get in contact with me about them experiencing different things.
Well, how long ago was that latest investigation there?
It was just
a couple of
a
years.
couple of years ago. I mean, a year and a half.
That's when
two.
they threw the
Makeup?
the makeup thing in the floor.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that.
They had a dog.
Yeah, it was in the
It
backyard.
was a really cute dog.
I don't remember the dog.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
remember
he
it
was
I
in
do.
the
I
backyard.
do.
Bulldog.
He was in the
I know-
backyard.
I know he was not
It
inside.
wasn't,
at
and
any
it
point.
wasn't a problem. He wasn't loud.
No, he
No,
was,
not
He was
at
a
all.
very
really
quiet
cool.
one. But I do remember there being a dog. 'Cause
And
I
it
was
again-
worried about it at
and
first.
it again stormed really bad. That
Oh, yeah,
night.
it was storming really bad.
Yeah.
I remember we
And we ate
had
at Taco Bell.
we had
Always.
the sound of the by the bed there was something that like moved the mattress or
It
something
sounded
like
like something
that too.
set on the bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
set
yeah.
on the
I
bed.
remember that.
And I remember when we were in the room there, and Chris, this girl had these ginormous teddy bears.
Oh yeah.
and Chris is like, throw the teddy bear at John, throw the teddy bear at John. And he said, I'm just going to be honest with you. If that thing were to land, jump on top of you at this moment in time, most people would have been scared, but Chris would have. He couldn't have got out of there either because he'd have been laughing so hard.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said if a teddy bear jumps up and octopuses around your head, then I don't know if I'll be able to leave in fear.
running in fear and laughing at the same time.
Yeah. What was your what's your favorite moment as far as funny, Chris? In all the times we've done these things.
That's
hard.
the real hard question.
Yeah, that's so many of them.
Well, I mean, there's the one that Ty talked about earlier with the voice.
Yes.
The embodied voice coming from the stairs.
Yes.
That was
Remind
hilarious.
me real quick, what was this?
It was the other guy on the stairs that we didn't know had come back inside.
Oh,
When we're in the middle of an EVP session, the interloper.
And the funny
yes.
part of that was I just happened to have the right angle because I remember right when that happened because we were doing our podcast live and I remember thinking I need to say something but I can't think of what I should say. and I could see the silhouette of John standing over by our window. And I could see him thinking the same thing because I saw him bring the mic up to his mouth and keep it there for a minute and then just lower it back down.
But it was a silhouette.
It was a silhouette.
Which makes it even funnier.
I know. Because I was sitting there thinking, I need to say something. I don't know what.
And that's when you lost it.
Because.
Isn't that when you started laughing?
Oh, Lord, yes. Because we had caught so much legitimate evidence there. And I did not want it to come across as though all along this guy has been the one doing it, because I knew that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But on the same side, I didn't know he came back in either. I didn't know he was even on the premises.
Oh, he was impressively stealthy. Because our job there is to be quiet and listen for movement, and he somehow did it better than ghosts do.
Yes. He managed to come in.
He walked into the house where we were doing an EVP session with demon bells in his trench coat, and we didn't hear it.
And sat on the stairs, and we had no idea that. I don't even know to this day how long he'd been in there.
He had demon bells equipped and was still stealthy.
That guy
really
might
impressive.
be like a CIA agent or something.
Ty, what do you think's funniest?
That's it. Sorry.
That's one of them, but the other one is when it took all four of us
The air
an
conditioner?
hour to figure out the air conditioner.
Because we were doing the podcast live.
Right.
We don't really do it that way anymore.
It took
now
us
we
like
kinda,
25 minutes.
But I remember Dustin was starting to feel the awkwardness of, this is really bad podcasting right now. Because he said, we got to get our best men on this one. There was
vaguely
like
remember
4
that.
people over there trying to figure out, is there a timer? Well, no. What if I flip this switch up? There was like 4 people messing around with the freaking AC, and that was also in Ashley's house too.
We went through the whole list. Did you try to turn it off and turn it back on?
Bobby, how about you? What's your funniest that you can remember?
I've got a million. I just thought of a bunch more, but I'm not going to.
Well, yeah.
Just share them.
You might as well.
Well, a lot of them seem to have.
I don't know. I have a lot of fun every time we go. So
Yeah, I know, but I mean, we can't gloss over Ty peeing.
Oh,
I
that was a
wasn't there
good
for
one.
that.
That was a good one.
It's okay. There's audio of it.
So Ty peeing, and evacuating the bathroom while still kind of peeing.
At a high rate of speed. Yeah, I mean, come on. Cut me some slack.
No. We've all been in the emergency bailout.
No. I forgot.
one reason.
You heard that too.
Yes, I'm the one who said Tyler.
I was in the bathroom, obviously, midstream, and I don't care. I don't care.
Strong stream. Too.
It was healthy. Yeah,
You do not need to go to the doctor
not for that.
for that. You're fine.
But no, I was midstream, and then I totally forgot about this. But that was scary a little bit.
What was it
obviously,
again?
It
because
sounded like something hit the outside of the
something
house.
did hit. No, it hit the door.
Yeah. His door.
From where I was standing, though, it sounded to me like something had hit the exterior of the house. That's why I was like, "Oh, Tyler!"
No, man, I heard the
and
door
then
handle
about
to
that
the
time,
bathroom
he comes
door
flying
shake.
out.
what was that? Did you say it?
I said, yeah.
Okay.
And it was super loud. It was like
It was
like
very
a
loud.
fist pounding.
Yeah, it was
So you
really
like
loud.
actually felt the door like move on the.
I didn't feel it.
Or
I was
saw it, right?
busy.
Yeah, heard it.
He's peeing.
I did hear it. Yeah, like the door. What do you call the little metal piece?
Latch?
Yeah, like the latch was jiggling. And
Yeah.
it was loud.
I just know when we got outside, I laughed so hard, I thought I was going to vomit.
Oh, I got one. Thinking about getting outside and almost vomiting. It's the same place I talked about earlier about the scariest part where we chased out
Yeah.
the pterodactyl, right? And with that whole house is making noise, banging on just cabinets. It was insane. We've talked about this before, right? And then we hear the dinosaur roaring at us, but the whole time I'm walking out, I'm actually also kind of laughing because I'm in front, Chris is behind me, but then way back there I hear
That was just
because John's wearing sweatpants that day because we'd
No, I
already
had
made
a
fun of
jacket.
him.
I had a
was his
jacket.
jacket?
I had a jacket.
We had already made fun of him.
because we said, "Are you going to take your jacket off?"
Why are
He's-
you wearing the
he's like,
wildest jacket on planet Earth?
Windbreaker or something?
It's like on
So-
Seinfeld when George wore the corduroys.
It's exactly like that.
On all the recorders, you can hear what John you'd hear. But then whenever this is happening, it was like.
I was afraid he was gonna like catch fire.
I remember you said something about, you made a cricket joke, like, can you tell the temperature by how many times John's coat passed? There's got to be a math formula for that.
I was ready to get out of there.
I could tell. That was that's up there.
Yeah, that was good. That was funny. I forgot about that. There's been a million of them. Almost every time we go out, there's something that happens, like that. But yeah, that was good. I forgot about that. And if you look back at all the pictures we took when we were in there, John's wearing that big tan coat.
Yep, I was ready to get out of Dodge.
The Walter White jacket.
Yes. Yeah, that's it. All right.
It's a sweet coat, dude. I want to get that out of the way. Like, I love that coat.
Yeah, it's nice threads.
It's just, maybe don't wear it on investigation.
Right.
He wasn't going to take it off because he said, if I have to leave, I'm taking my stuff with me.
No, I get that.
We actually that was actually recognized in one of the EVPs that night. Remember that? We had an EVP that says, "What's with the jacket?"
Oh yeah, there was one that mentioned a coat or a jacket. I forgot about
my
that.
jacket was made fun of by a ghost that night.
I forgot.
Really?
Yeah, and it's on here too because there's an EVP
Yeah,
that
it says-
mentions
it's
the
a-
one in the coat.
Why
and
is
the
he
one in the
wearing a jacket?
or something like that? I can't
It's-
remember what
it
it
says
is.
Something
that.
about, isn't he going to take the jacket off? Or
Yeah, it was something
something
like that.
Yeah.
Something was referenced about.
Are you sure that wasn't one of us?
No. All of us on every dimension were wondering why he's wearing that jacket.
Yeah. The undead was curious about that jacket.
They're like, oh yeah, why is he wearing that fucking jacket?
Hey, but before we haunt these guys, let's just figure out what's up with the jacket.
Yeah. They're like, what the hell?
There have been a couple too where we thought the scariest part about where we went had nothing to do with anything paranormal.
That's
it was
exactly
actual
right.
people,
Oh, yeah,
and it
that's
ends up being funny later. But at the time, you're kind of scared for your life.
Well, the night that we ended up, there was a house in the north side of Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
We went in, ended up catching one of the greatest EVPs. We actually used it
was
for
the
an
only-
audio.
Yeah, it was the only one we caught because we didn't stay long.
What
enough.
was it? I don't
I
know.
didn't even know we caught it.
It was the EMF detector goes off and it says "Leave here,"
Oh, I do remember that.
and
that is a good
was
one.
a good one.
We used to use it on the intro of our old.
We used to always use it,
podcast.
but that was probably one of the scariest nights for me, and it had nothing to do with the paranormal. It was these white SUVs that continued to circle the house where we were at very, very slowly all night that we were
Yeah,
there.
I was worried.
Well, there were gunshots. We
heard
Well,
gunshots
once the
and stuff.
gunshots happened, we kind of got out of there, I think. We
Yeah,
called it early, right?
because I couldn't get them to reply to me, the owners, and I finally just messaged and said, "We're leaving." So
Did you ever hear from them again?
yeah,
Okay. I didn't.
yeah, they finally were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." I mean, they were no big deal.
Yeah, well, they're used to that kind of thing. But my worry about the SUVs was that they saw us carrying in all our gear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we were setting up a stakeout or
Laptop
something.
bags.
Yeah.
Yes, like that was my first thought. Was like,
It was a seedy part of town to start with.
one of
Yeah.
us could have went over there and said, "Hello, how are you? We're ghost hunting. We don't care what you got going on over there."
And there were cameras too. All over.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
There were cameras mounted outside the house, all over the place.
Yeah, I was bothered by that.
which didn't really fit into
We
the.
have cameras mounted outside our house.
No, I
Yeah,
get that, but
I do too, but mine are pointed like at the driveway. These were just in weird,
were they interior cameras?
and there were inside ones too.
That's the part I remember being kind of.
Because they had a whole like central, security central
Is
location.
this the place where they said don't go in that room? Though?
Yes, and it was
Okay.
all locked up.
That's what
with
made me
with the
uncomfortable.
multiple deadlocks on the door.
Yes.
And
on the
and
outside.
they
Yes.
kept reiterating, "Now, just don't go in there."
Yeah. Oh, you got free reign. Not in there though.
Yeah,
Everywhere
don't-
else you go, but
don't
not
go
in
in
there.
Right, and
Yeah.
this was during an era when you didn't see video cameras inside houses. This is before all the
Yeah,
nanny
right.
cams and
Yeah,
all that
and
stuff.
my whole,
was
like
up.
Ring and all that.
My whole thought was they said they were off, but I didn't know it. So what are they watching us for?
Right.
It was just all kind of sketchy.
Yeah, it was odd. They were. I mean, they were. I remember the cam. They looked like
Yeah.
the kind, just the infrared, camera.
Like
But-
security,
Right.
the
Yeah.
security camera.
But yeah, that was odd. A lot of the times that we've been scared of people, not anything paranormal.
Well, and that one time we rolled up to that house and the door was open.
We did not stay there
We walked inside, smelled sulfur, and it looked like
because here's what
a
happened
tornado
there.
hit it.
They wanted us to come investigate. They were renting it. And then the day we were going to come investigate, I tried the emailing, which that's how we contacted before. She would always reply right away. And I couldn't get a response, so I looked back through and I found her phone number. And I called. I was like, "Are we still, coming?" She's like, "You can do whatever you want. We left. We're not staying there anymore." She's like, "I think you should be fine because technically we're still renting through the end of the month. It's unlocked. Do whatever you want." That's why when we showed up, there wasn't a soul there.
Front door was wide open.
The front door was open, and we could hear stuff inside that didn't sound necessarily like ghosts. Sounded like there might be people in there.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that, man.
Like up.
That's
there was an
infinitely
upstairs.
more scary than any
Yeah.
ghost.
Yeah.
Not qualified.
And then
for
there
that.
was like foot traffic. I mean, tons of
A
foot
lot.
traffic. I mean, odd, late night foot
Well,
traffic.
it was 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
I'm always a lot more afraid of people and things that people are going to do than I ever have been with ghosts.
Oh yeah.
As
As far as I know, a ghost can't shoot me.
And I remember on that investigation when she gave me the address, and I looked at what I thought was the address. It was one of those streets that continues, it ends here and then continues way up here. It was her house wasn't down here where I thought it was way up there. And when we got, that's why I didn't think we were ever going to get there. When we were going, I was like, where the hell is this place? And then we get there, I was like, this is not where I was thinking. So yeah, that was a good lesson to learn though, because now I always Google Earth it right down to the street level, huh? It's warm, yeah. Okay, anyway, we do have some investigations coming up. We got a house we got to do in Fair Grove. We can do that whenever. Probably going to be October.
Are we still doing the outdoor one, or we wanted to wait till after the bugs went away? Is that what
We could do that we could do that anytime we want.
I think we mentioned maybe off air about waiting until after the summer bugs went away.
We did, yeah, and that's probably now, right?
No,
They're still out
No,
there.
Are
not-
we going to
not
have
yet.
crunchy leaves, or do they get rid of the leaves?
Oh, no.
Do they
Oh,
like-
no.
There is no
It'll be
lawn
there.
care out there.
It'll
No.
be there.
They mow it, but there's
There were
leaves
crunchy
everywhere.
leaves when we went.
Yeah.
And you could hear. I mean, we heard and recorded walking on the crunchy leaves when we were.
That actually might be nice if we can all stop,
Yeah,
walking.
when the three of us were standing still. So we have that one. We have the house in Fair Grove, which we need to do first. What was the? We were talking about. We've talked a lot about Ashley's house.
Doing that one.
Doing that one again. She's never been.
I haven't been.
You've been. But there's new stuff happening there.
What?
I will have to look. I can't remember.
It's the new improved Ashley's house.
But she's renovated.
That'll do it.
Yeah, she's renovated, and it apparently looks very different inside now than it did the last time we were there. So that might be one we look at. I mean, we kind of talked about maybe doing something, out there for like maybe a Halloween thing
Right.
or something. I don't know. We'll figure that
Well,
out.
that'd be a good one to do for Halloween because we're almost certainly going to get something.
That's what I know. Is it's almost cheating because you're definitely almost going to guarantee
Place
to
is
catch
like really active.
something out there. So anyway, that's what we got coming up. Fair Grove's got to come first, though. Whenever we can get that one booked, we'll head out there to that house. It's a
And then we got to revisit Republic.
yeah, oh yeah,
So we got quite a few.
and then hopefully here in November.
Yeah.
Pythian.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff to do, and we'll get the website worked out too. But right now, everything is still there. It's kind of in disarray, but it's all going to be pulled together at mwghosthunters.com. I'm slowly getting it done, one piece at a time. I'm just having to embed each piece of audio, one at a time. But it's so much better than using SoundCloud. Oh my! Because when the audio ends, it ends.
Wow.
It's nice.
What an idea.
So we'll work on that, and see you next.
We'll be back soon with another episode of Midwest Ghost Hunters Dark Matter Podcast.